Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. Make sure y'all take this poll right here. What's going on with y'all? Oh, shit. Wow. Come in, come in, come in. Let's get them likes up, y'all. Smash that like, share me out. Mm. Smash that like. They knocked me out, dude. That's crazy. Smash that like. They took me out. My shit. As soon as I start. Well, no, what? I ain't even gonna go there no more. I ain't even gonna go there. Louis, I'm chilling. This a new screen right here. Smash that like. I'm just chilling, man. Hold on, what was that? Smash that like. What's going on with you, Lewis? I'm just cooling, man. Just cooling. Smash that light. Come in. Somebody answer that. What did you vote for? Somebody in the chat stream. What did you vote for? Lewis, what did you vote for, fam? Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. This is crazy. Make sure y'all taking a poll too. Yeah, I had another one reloaded. As soon as we was having that conversation, that shit just took me out. And that's crazy. I don't know nobody else that goes through that. As soon as we start having that conversation, and I don't know if you can. I know you were a fast thinker. The last conversation, it started glitching. Smash that like, but I had another one already booted up. Was y'all still in the chat stream communicating, Crimson? Yeah, that other one was done. They would not let me get back on it. Also, okay, yeah, man. I hope everybody flip over to this side. That's crazy. Yeah, that was crazy, dog. And you know what? I'm gonna just start keeping my observation to myself too. Sometimes it's better not even just to discuss it as an intellectual. I mean, smash that like. But yeah, man, I had to start over. That shit went the fuck out. I told you, at the moment that I express my opinion on this shit, sometimes I don't know. I mean, hit doggone holler. You know the but I might have to listen to you, homie. Let sleeping dogs lay. Smash that like. Come in, come in, come in. It's 7 likes, man. Fremerson, have you donated to the BMC E-Bike Foundation? I don't want to hear that. I don't have Cash App. Get over there and hit the E-Fund Foundation up, man. The e-bike. I'm gonna need it. You know what? One of the parks that I was planning on going out doing a bunch of footage by the zoo, they protesting. They about to start protesting, but and right now they is grumbling because they have put a restriction on how late the park can you can be in the park. And the other night, it was 9 o'clock and the sun damn was still out in this area. So what it is at 7 o'clock, the sun's still popping. It's evening, but it's still, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of funning to do. It's the summertime, and they are regulating that. They getting these people out the park at 7 o'clock. But you know what was so crazy about that? The park has a one of them police lights out there with the police cameras with the solar panels, and they can see it's sort of like a AI police station where it's got a direct link to the police station. And I bet that they've been watching what's going on in the park, and they don't want to arrest nobody because it's seemingly like a big cookout, because everybody that's in the park that comes out there are from all different neighborhoods all over the city, but it's predominantly the black community. And this park is in a predominantly mixed community, but the majority are white people. It is right on the riverfront. So maybe they want to get the park closed and make it start having festivals and stuff. And that's the way they got to get the people that's already deeply rooted and ingrained there. The city might have a different idea of what they want to make out of that park. I'm telling you, they probably want some festivals, but they know now if they do any festivals, it's gonna have to include these people that's been here for decades. That park, I grew up playing in that park. My name is probably written on one of those benches or something crazy like a curse word or something. I don't. They got a bathroom there, but if the bathroom closed, you pee on the tree. I mean, I don't. They used to have a water fountain there, and I remember when it was the snake slide. Now this park, they probably need it for some kind of monetization by the city because number one, it ain't nowhere you can buy a soda or nothing unless you go into the zoo facilities, and the zoo facilities high as fuck is no less amusement park prices in there, and because the zoo is right next to this park. So I know that the city wants to reappropriate this park, but they doing it by way of, know what I mean, saying, okay, we're closing the park at 7 o'clock, hoping that the crowd will die off. And then if you don't leave by 7 o'clock, we're gonna enforce it and possibly arrest you or give you a summons to court for public nuisance or something like that. Um, because they know that park is what it's like community. So it's basically like they trying to. I see it, but everybody else is just mad because they can't tell me to go home. But think about why they want you to go home, because everything is monetization now in the society we living in. They monetize everything. Nothing's free. So that's a big ass park. It's like Central Park. There's no way you can. It used to be a supermarket across the street from it. That's gone. The closest store is a Habibi store. And when I went there with my kids, they couldn't even fucking speak English, and they didn't even know the price. I remember my first day. This used to be 7-Eleven where I stole my comic books and the Boston Wood planes and went up in the machines with the bolt cutters, the Pac-Man machines and shit. This is my 7-Eleven now. Habibi got it. But that park is a cultural icon for the black community as well as the community as a whole. More than just black people frequent that joint. It's a safe haven. Ain't nobody out there thugging and mugging. Motherfuckers out there sipping on their sip, smoking on their smoke, playing music, dominoes. If you go check my live, that's where I had the video where they was playing horseshoes. And even where I did that video where I was doing a live and the Korean lady walked up and she said, "Yo, my husband in the Navy and we politic, similarly middle class, you know what I mean, college educated, stop and just start talking to me." It's a people friendly park. Now they're trying to close it at 7 because I think that the city wants to start having their own functions. They can't monetize it why they got a already set crowd, because some people are just not gonna come around that crowd because like it's a family atmosphere out there, and it's predominantly black people over there by where the picnic tables and where they will probably hold the festival actually at, like and getting it ready, everything. Because it's an amphitheater on the backdrop of it. I think when I get the e-bike, I'm gonna go out there and do a video, you know what I mean, live on what's going on out there, you know what I mean, and explain to what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Right, you say no, not since yeah, they took away the membership, everything from me. Even I don't have the ability to like when I finish this live stream, I used to have the ability to make a short out of it. I don't have the ability to make a short out of these lives anymore. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but all I know is to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like, share me out. But I know, you know what I'm saying, that part that I was just talking about, that's crazy. What's going on your side of the world, Criminals on your side of the country, shall we say? Lying to the American people, man. That got me kicked off an ad talking about this guy lying to the American people. That shit crazy. Smash that like, double tap the stream, man. Let's get them likes up. Let's get them views up, man. Share me out. I gotta get this link. Let me see. Smash that like. Damn. Y'all see this shit? Y'all see this shit? The poll over with already. I just did that poll. Oh God. Smash that like. Smash that like. There's a new poll up too, y'all. Make sure y'all take the poll. That trap meat murder trial shit was popping off in Texas too, with the young boy Carmelo, Carmelo, what was his name? Carmelo Anderson. Carmelo Anthony. I said Carmelo Anderson. Still, it's sort of like the basketball player named Carmelo. But was Meet the Press Donald Trump's downfall? Was that where he fucked up at on Meet the Press? That lady, because you know what? Just like all weak motherfuckers, they have problems with women. That lady shook his ass up. Is that his downfall? Because you notice the last couple of people, the majority of the people that he done fired or got rid of or replaced have been women. Was that lady? Is that lady who we need to put on Donald Trump? Should she have the rematch with him? He did a Kamala Harris. I don't hear nobody saying nothing. Donald Trump did a Kamala Harris. He had selective memory. Yeah, I didn't promise anything. Shit, Ron Donald Trump, they gotta switch him out. They got too many of them Donald Trump clones. What's going on with it, man? Smash that like, man. Share me out. Let's get this popping. Who cares, man? You know what I'm saying? What did you vote for as an American? Is it this? Is it high gas prices? Wrecked economy? What did you vote for? Who cares, man? Smash that like. Mm-hmm. Smash that like. Mm-hmm. Woo. Crimson. I'm gonna tell you something, fam. I just pinpointed why um they don't you notice that everybody was in the last conversation was a member of my moderators. Everybody in the last conversation was a moderator. Did you notice that? There was no new faces, nobody coming in calling me jigaboo or none of that shit. Okay. But the whole time I was trying to put up like can you, I don't know what kind of device you're on, but can you see what did you vote for? I was trying to put up a joint that said Obama versus Trump, and they never let me do it, but they'll let me go as broad as this right here. But the last time that I did super good was the topic was the Obama Trump situation. That shit did 27,000. I got like 30 people to join the crew. And the next day, my whole shit fell off. And I think it's this stuff with the Obama Trump situation with me in comparison. Ever since I did that, and that was between the 22nd to the end of last month that I was dealing with that situation. And that shit is crazy, man. That shit is crazy. And that's just my opinion on it. You know what I mean? From my observation. Smash that like. I voted for America. Better jobs, better health care, better education, more affordable housing. Unfortunately, Trump won, so we got none of it. Right. But that's the shit that he was pushing. MAGA. That's what MAGA is, right? If you take the, you know what I mean? That's what MAGA supposed to be about, making America great again. Trump will never be as liked, respected, nor accomplished as Obama. I got to take that one. Underneath of this live screen, I want you to leave that right there, Crimson, because I'm gonna make that a title. Because that's true. Smash that like. I ain't talking about the group MAGA and these people with the hats. I'm talking about the ideology of MAGA. And because in a sense, making America great again, just and we seemingly they be he attributing that to like an empire or something, but making America great again. It's like making Americans have fun and be prosperous and everybody chilling and no matter your nation, your neighbor's ethnic background or whatever, religious, he still was your neighbor and we just chill. That's making America great. That's what's great about America. You know what I'm saying? Who divided America? Who divided America? Who divided America? Seemingly, more people probably was coming in here that was taking Obama's side as opposed to Trump. And now I don't know. It seems like something's going on where wherever it seems like there's a majority right now, and it seems to be here, and it's some kind of blackball with this shit, man. Because I can't even put the I can do this. Look, what did you vote for? But if I try to put up Obama versus Trump, smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Smash that like, man. Thanks for that like, man. Let's get them up, get them up, get them up, get them up. What's going on, Godfather? I'm cooling, man. Cooling, 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 cooling. What's up with you? Godfather, um, you voted for Trump, right? Smash that like. So, do you remember Trump saying that he wasn't gonna go to war? No new wars. That he made a promise. Don't you think that was big on his agenda? No new wars. The gender bender thing, he was gonna switch it back. No more transgender people reading the books in the library. Living the dream. Okay, I heard you say that in a minute. Shout out everybody coming through. Double tap that stream. Let's get them likes up. We on the road to 1,000 likes. You know what I mean? 1,000 likes today in this live stream. Let's get it popping, man. What's going on with y'all? Shout out to 5 people that's in here, man. Thanks for coming through. What's your opinion, man? What's your opinion on this? Who divided America? You know what I'm saying? Who divided it, and how do we put it back together? Would Obama be doing a better job right now, in your opinion? Will Obama be doing a better job, Godfather, right now, in your opinion, whether you agree with it or not? You say you remember that, and Trump is not. I know, but he's not the same person. He's not the same person that we was amused by on The Apprentice. You're fired. He's not the same person. I'm glad somebody realizing that. It's probably a Trump clone. Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. He almost different. He's like he ain't got nobody but the agenda on his mind. He's not serving the purpose no more. Ain't the president supposed to be the help people, to help the people, to serve the people? Seem me like all his own personal interests, and they don't include the people. Y'all know, feed the wolves. You know, feed the wolves. So you voted for Trump. Do you feel like he lied to you about it? Americans divided Americans, true indeed. But do you feel like Trump lied to you about what's going on, Godfather? And there's 7 of y'all in here, man. Double tap that stream, man. It's not the electric chair. Let's get them likes up, man. Even if you're geeking and peeking, peeking and geeking. What's your opinion? What did you vote for? And is this what you voted for, Godfather? Honestly, bro. You say you're disappointed in his performance. Wow. You know what? That's crazy that in your honesty, that's real. You voted for him, and is that the only thing that he's doing that you're disappointed in? And that's honesty. I mean, you're not gonna agree with everything somebody does, especially in the political, even in the entertainer that you follow his music. Every hit ain't a hit to you if you're a true fan, and you're gonna have your own opinion on it. So, in your opinion, would you say is it because it seeming like he lied about what's going on 2 times? I was disappointed in him, but I expected nothing less when he said that he didn't care about um Americans' financial situation, and he doubled down on that. And now with this, when he said, "I did not lie," you know what I mean, when he said, "I didn't promise anything about no new wars," huh? Um, One of my earlier live streams, Cam came in and said, "Yeah, that's why I voted for Trump because he said no new wars." Right, his core values don't exist right now. You don't MAGA. When the last time you heard Trump say anything about MAGA? Never. His whole conversation changed. His whole conversation changed, man. And that's crazy that you, as a, would you consider yourself MAGA? Because I know you a hard worker, you a taxpayer, you a homeowner, you got 3, 4 automobiles, land deeds in your name, you're well traveled. Know what I mean, you provide a good quality of life, you exercise a good quality of life, you're well read, your opinion matters here. You an American. Would you consider yourself MAGA? Because you know what I mean? I'm telling you, MAGA getting disenfranchised with this dude. And it happens. It happens. I like the old Jay Z. I don't this new Jay Z with the Einstein wig. He's Einstein. Okay. Feel me? Okay, salute. So you are would you say you a subculture in MAGA? Because I'm gonna tell you something. MAGA is looking like it's not for all Americans, it's for MAGA participants because it's a certain ideology that's in the background of it. So, you know what I mean? To me, MAGA is straight white Protestant male. You know what I mean? Would you fit into that bill? The straight white Protestant male? And I'll say allegedly now because all straight white Protestant males have seemingly crossed over. Some of them don't want to be straight no more. Some of them don't want to be Protestant no more. No, I'm saying some of them don't even want to be Americans anymore. So it's like the ideology that's being pushed to they're not following the narrative. Americans are being who they want to be. Some of them are not. It's not sticking. So that's the where the problem lies. Know what I mean, where they're providing this platform for the straight white Protestant American male to prosper. Oftentimes they have to. Know what I mean, damn near draft them into it. Look, you're MAGA. This is the American way, and this is what we're doing. And then they also have to get in bed with less than, know what I mean, credible people like white nationalists and white supremacists because a great deal of them um that push the white Protestant male ideology of this country being built off of their laws and bylaws, a lot of them that push it with the supremacy, you know what I mean, they got to get in bed with them to get the rest of the white Protestant males on board. And that's just my opinion. And that ain't on a racial aspect, that's on the majority and the majority rules. Right, but I'm saying the ideology of MAGA fits along with the ideology of nationalism. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's what you believe in. I'm saying, but that I asked you, would you say you are a subculture in MAGA? Because you said you believe MAGA is for all people besides white men, but MAGA has its root and basis in, I mean, the European side of America. It's not like the Rainbow Coalition or even the LGBT community who was pushing the rainbow. Where it was people of all colors, and the only thing they had in common, or what they had in common, was LGB. This LGBTQ plus has also included people with non-binary and different numbers and codes behind their names and stuff like that. So I don't really understand that movement, but like I said, I'm in full agreements with the LGBT community. That's been here. Liberals are not libertarian, and seemingly MAGAs are not MAGish, and Republicans ain't for the Republic, and Democrats ain't for the democracy family. All of them seemingly like for the demonetization of it. And now that they caught on about the cryptocurrency and all these other different forms of currency, I mean, full fledged technology demons. You see who was standing up there behind Donald Trump? Oligarchs that deal in replenishment centers and, know what I'm saying? AI researcher, data and analytics masters, the master of all our data and analytics. They know when you shit. They know what you shitting. Know what I mean, they know when you get high. They know how you get high. Know what I mean, they know what you eating. They know what you crave. They know what you drinking. They know what quenches your thirst. What kind of car you like. What kind of car you have, as opposed to the car you like. Know what I mean, they know all. They know I mean where you spend your money at when you get it. They know where you spend the majority of your money on. They know everything, man. Steve, what's goody? Yeah, no less. As all them politicians do, they eat us and shit us out. He ain't no different from Trump. Just he had a different approach. Know what I mean? All of them is got that on bamboozlers and liars and cutthroats. You know what I mean? All of them. Our political gang is no less like the Bloods and Crips. They politic just different. You know what I mean? Bloods and Crips, you know what I mean? Blast first, ask questions last. You know what I mean? That's what we've been trained to do. Survival. Politicians ask a bunch of questions and hit you with a blind side. You'll never know. Damn, you told me there won't gonna be no more wars, and now we goddamn tussling. And then when the little nigga get the best of us, we don't fuck with a midget and got flipped. Ain't that crazy? You go fucking around and you get fucked around by them fuck arounds. Know what I mean? Don't you know what I mean? And the golden rule is don't go to war if your money ain't right. Y'all know they say we out there right now. It's like that. I done seen the best of the gamblers take a loss, mouth be white as fuck. They still shaking the dice. God damn. Finish your breakfast, dude. JC. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like. I feel that I'm a true libertarian. You make good decisions and you get rewards, and you make poor decisions and you will get penalties and consequences. That's why you have to look at the data and analytics and the statistics and outweigh the good from the bad and look at the morality of it. It's so many variants when you're making decisions now in life if you really live in life because it's so much at stake and you don't want to end up as the collateral damage. So you're right, Godfather. It's just like a chess move. You know what I mean? The wrong move, it could be checkmate. The right move, a pawn can become a king overnight. You know what I mean? Smash that like. What did you vote for? And who divided the broker? Let's get them likes up. Double tap the stream, fam. So now, um, are you in full support of Donald Trump and his moves? Because you know loyalty is everything. Like you said, you make a few moves. Are you because you said you know what I mean? Would you vote for Donald Trump again? That's what I'm trying to get at. Godfather, would you vote for Donald Trump again? Okay, government wasteful spending. And right now, can you name a few things that you would say was a wasteful spend that doesn't include the war? Because we all know that's war is always wasteful, but it's money for. I mean, Smash that like. I don't know. What's going on, logical assessments? You say if he was running against Harris, absolutely. Wow. Why against Harris? What about anybody else? Why against Harris? Can you explain that logical? And Godfather says about voting for Trump again. I don't know, depending upon who he's running and what platform they are running on. Wow. Why so? Can you further explain that to me, Godfather? Wow, that's a dope concept, though. Steve, what up? So, what is the Democratic platform and what is the Republican platform? What is the Liberals platform? Seemingly, we'll never know now because they haven't been able to produce a viable candidate for president in my eyes. I don't see nobody that's a Republican right now. I see a bunch of choices, but somebody definitely that yeah he got this. Nope. And then the Democrat is the only person I see that will remotely do a good job is because he's a liar and because he's been lying in California is Gavin Newsom. Like I say, whoever tells the best lie. But and Kamala Harris second because she has executive office experience as well as Mike Pence on the Republican side. But just they just a choice. They're not definitely like those motherfuckers there. Okay. But anybody else, I can't see it, man. It's just they are proven it just to be no less um ineffective site managers in a sense. And the United States corporation, they're just site managers. They're people who they come in and have the board meetings with the workers and shit. Look, this gonna go down. But you told us, yeah, I know. You know what I mean? But they know less like in the union. They're the people, the union reps. I voted for Obama on first run because he said he wanted change. So were you disappointed in Obama also, Godfather? Smash that like y'all. Smash that like, man. Greatly appreciated that support, man, coming through. Give me back my legions, man. YouTube, give me back my legions. Stop playing with me. Smash that like. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Give me back my legions, family. Where y'all at, man? Where my dogs at? You feel me? Give me back my legions, man. That plane load of cash you sent over there to Iran didn't work out too good for him. Who, Obama? Obama didn't send a plane load of cash to Iran. He sent them by way of Chase Manhattan Bank. You know, the money that Obama gave to Iran was their money. When the Shah Iran shit went crazy, they still had money on the table and business was being still being conducted, no matter what the political regime was. So when they opened up the floodgates, the only thing he did was cooperate with them getting some of their money. You know what I mean? Just like the Bush administration and the Reagan administration cooperated with the Iran Contra situation where they sold weapons to Iran. Even Israel sold weapons to Iran. You understand what I'm saying? So it's all a big compromise. How much money can you make? They don't give a fuck. You think the Cali cartel ain't, you know what I mean, sell dope to the Medellin cartel when they needed it, they ain't re up off of them. Look, we got this plate pop it. You think, come on, man. Yeah, he didn't send a pallet of money. He sent some. They got their money out the bank. Look, we're gonna let y'all get a little of it. They just let them do it now with Donald Trump. They let them sell China and Russia some oil and somebody else, as well as in Ukraine. Ukraine knocked down a Russian oil pipeline that's heading out to these other countries that they still allowed to get money with, and Ukraine had to foot the bill, take it out of the slush fund that they sending them to fix Russia's oil to get their money because they already know what the war is about. It's a war of attrition, man, democracy. The United States refused to play that game, and that's what no new wars because that we are bogged down in that war. Whether the United States try to downplay it or not, we are involved in that demonstration over there. We're going to have to pick sides. Let Ukraine go ahead and go to let Russia take whatever they want, whereas we've been focusing more on Asia as of late anyway. So that's what I see. Smash that like. Okay, that's why you wouldn't vote for him a second time. I voted for Romney. Yo, so what was your thing with Romney? Mitt Romney is a Mormon. He would have came at it a crazy. He might have been the best because Mormons are so, you know what I mean, non-affiliated only with Mormons. They claim Christianity, but if you ever studied anything about the Latter-day Saints, they have it's not based off of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like, share me out. I wouldn't even say it was based off of Judaism. It's its own kind of, I mean, little universe. Wow. Smash that like, man. Share me out. And if you catch me on the playback, leave your comments. Will Obama be doing a better job than Trump handling Iran gas in the economy? And who divided America? Leave your opinion for everybody that catches this on the playback. You know what I'm saying? Leave a comment on what you think, you know. What's your opinion on your opinion is greatly appreciated. What did you vote for? Come in, smash the like, and what's your opinion on it? Kennedy was the first Catholic and was a good president. That means he was full of larceny too. Then there's no good president that ain't do dirt. The executive position is designed to be the face of all that's going down. Remember Kennedy and the Bay of Pigs. Kennedy is the reason why we have this trade embargo period on Cuba, remember? And some say it because he was in bed with Sam Giancana and the mafia, and he didn't hold up his side of the bargain. He tried to flip them. Okay, we'll get him to do what we want, and then to cover it up, we'll get rid of him. And seemingly, all of them met their demise. Kennedy, Giancana, and the mafia. You know what I'm saying? But and that's gonna be kind of crazy. I mean, as my boy Lord Crimson says, ironic that if JD Vance becomes the president or Mark Rubio, they will also be Catholic presidents, American in power around, you know what I mean? And also the Pope is also Catholic, American Catholic. It'll be, you know what I mean, an interesting dynamic how they'll deal with the Pope, being that they look for him for their spiritual um guidance. That's why I know it probably won't be one of them, being that the Pope, and that's where they're leading us at, trying to maybe it'll make Mark Rubio so they can satisfy the Latins that are disgruntled now because of all this immigration stuff. And it'll also kind of like instantly give us a little power and a foothold with the Catholics, which is a big part of the Latins. That most 99% of the people they're getting out right now are Catholic. So with that, with Mark Rubio or JD Vance, that will be the strong point in that. It'll be better communication with the supposed to be um closest thing to God in the Christian community, which is the Pope. That's why the Pope has been solidifying his reunion with the other Pope. It's another Pope that's on in the Western version of, you know what I mean, the Eastern religion that we call Christianity. The Western version got their own pope. He's not the black pope. The black pope was the pope that was just the pope, and he died. He was a Jesuit, which they don't even supposed to be the pope because they teach a warriors types, and they know too much intelligence, so it's an unfair advantage. But he was the pope, the one that supposed to be the people's pope. But there's also a equivalent to the pope out of the east, I mean out of the west in the East. January 2016, 400 million were loaded onto a plane and sent to Iran. You sure? They ain't mean to say Afghanistan? See, that was to get hostages. I'm talking about the literal, they gave Iran their own money. That's why it didn't go through. They went ahead and gave them their own money. Okay, and you say, okay, so on that side of things, see, you notice that it ain't no talk of war in Asia with United States right now, and that's where our seemingly enemies were now. Trump just went over there and stood in front of the Heaven's Temple, that temple that's in every buffet, that big white temple with Xi Jinping, and they dapped up. We kind of frenemies now, but with the people that we have been closely associated with, even the birth of this nation is out of one of these groups. Now we don't talk to them much. That happens. If y'all can't relate to it in life, it happens. Well, maybe somebody that was on the fringes of your friendship and your crew growing up on the fringes, y'all wasn't that close, and maybe seeming like y'all fought a few times, or somebody in the clique fought him a few times, and I mean, he did his thing, y'all did y'all thing, and then in the end, your friends that were your friends, y'all don't talk that much, but you and that guy seen them to meet up somewhere on the other side of the world, and now y'all got a lot in common because y'all trying to hold on to power, and y'all got these big, huge countries where y'all is a resource, a fight for resources, and then you see these Europeans over there, and they looking at themselves like the aristocracy. You like shit. The same thing. You know, two colonizers is clicking up. China and United States. Nobody has looked at that variant. And we don't want to see it because we've been trained to think that China is our enemy as opposed to just a rival. Every rival is not an enemy. You know what I mean? Because everybody shines, the sun and the moon, but they're not rivals. You understand what I'm saying? The sun shines solar in the daytime, giving you vitamins and enrichments, and it's good for the soul. The moon is when is lunar, and it shines and it gives you whatever the vitamin that the sun gave you. That's when your body takes and it works with those vitamins and creates that healthy path. And also even in your mental, it is more where it's inner, where the sun is outwardly. You know, you get some sun on your skin, and I mean, feel the vibe. Yeah, I mean, that shit crazy. The sun and the moon shine, but at different times, different ways, and for different reasons, family. I mean, and some people relate the sun to the you know what I mean, the man, the head, the father, and also the moon is regulated to the divine feminine, Luna. Know what I mean? Smash that light. What about Don Magic Wand 2028 family? What are you talking about? Smash that light. What did you vote for? Logical assessment. What did you vote for, fam? Tell me. What did you vote for? But what America need to do is key in on commercial sea trade because China is killing us right now. If you know anything, we China is killing us with American sea trade and ports, global ports. We too busy tongue wrestling and trying to sort out the particulars. Chinese bootleggers done got in the game and just bootlegging shit all over the world, family. We better try to take control, not with no. Sometimes you don't fight with guns. You fight, you know what I mean, with, you know what I mean, economic. It's economic warfare. You know what I'm saying? Trade warfare. I mean, the effect is not felt like boom, 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 boom. The effect is like when you look at that, I mean, smash that light when it crashes, when it happens, that's it. But yeah, on a global standpoint, in my opinion, I say we need to keep in more on commercial, getting the money, man. We too busy, you know what I mean? You can't go to war if your money ain't right, and you can't make money if you go on to war unless that's what it is. So we got to get off of that because we're supposed to be making money as Americans. We can't motherfucking order the machine if we ain't got money to pay for the oil. You feel me? WD 40 costs. Smash that like. What did I vote against? Okay. What did I vote against? I voted against lack of leadership in our political realm. That's what I voted against. I felt like Donald Trump was coming in on some new revised, and the stuff he was telling, the lies was better than the Democrats. That's what I voted against. I voted against the Democrats because I was tired of them telling me one thing and doing another, and it seemed boring. You know, be careful what you ask for. I didn't even vote. That's what's so crazy. That's what I voted against. Nothing. You know what I mean? Because I didn't vote. So, I mean, but my opinion was against, I was against the Democratic regime because they wasn't doing nothing. And it all seemed like city council work. All I'm seeing like they're city councilmen. The same shit the city does. They tell you something that's gonna go down and goes down, and the people aren't accepting it in the protests or the grumbling, but it still goes down. You know, change is evident when people that don't know. I mean, they never had power. When they get in office, they abuse it. So I was tired of that. It was the same shit. No matter who was the Democratic face, it was the same. You know what I mean? Infrastructure being. You know what I mean? Politicians do political shit. So Donald Trump seemed like a better side. You know, the same bird, same shit, man. Different wings, man. Everybody want to wet they beat. And you know there's not no good politicians once they wet they beat, they wet they beat. And to be a member of those groups, you have to be on the take for something. Oh, come on, there's only fucking fake beef. You know what I mean? Damn, you ain't missed an election since '78. Oh yeah, so who was the first person you voted for? Who was the first person you voted for? Yeah, let's take that poll too. Thanks for us taking that poll. Let's look at these numbers right quick. Trump approved 43%. Disapprove 57%. Nobody chose 50-50. Jimmy Carter. Okay, okay. And do you think Jimmy Carter lived up to what you voted for? And in not in your understanding of politics now, but in your understanding of politics then, as well as we got to realize sometimes when we look at things like even with the Donald Trump situation, the Donald Trump that was Donald Trump in 2000 is not the same Donald Trump. His power was different and his position in the world was different. So we look at him at a different angle, but sometimes learned behavior makes us still look at Donald Trump as the guy that was on the apprentice. Smash that light. Who divided America? Is the bottom line though. Who divided America, fam? But the topic of the day is, would Obama do a better job than Trump handling the Iran, gas prices, and the economy? Nope, that's when I started being more conservative. Wow. So, okay, even we that's when we go into the Bush era. Okay, what were your thoughts on George Bush? You know, George Bush had a background in like being in the Air Force and the Navy pilots and CIA, and maybe his peoples were spies, all kind of shit. What were your thoughts on George Bush? When George Bush came into power, now I realize that that's when Central Intelligence agencies took over. I mean, it was more covert than we think. Like that's when your Putin's rose out of the F, and it was the FSB. That's when George Bush had his rise out of the CIA was in his background. So Central Intelligence, data and analytics took over on the face of it, in the forefront of America right then in the 80s. You know what I mean? And that's when everything started to change too, by way of the technology started advancing quicker than it was at first. It was everything was big. Then they started, you know what I mean, shrinking shit. And seemingly they forgot to shrink the food. They doubled back, and now the food even shrink. Ronald Reagan is what really pushed me more to the right. Wow. And can you explain that? Why did Ronald Reagan push you to the right? In my opinion, of Ronald Reagan was like the face of um irony, because whereas he was pushing don't do drugs and say no to drugs, and he had the American culture down pat at the time. He was American pop culture. He, what I mean, he bucked the norm. He had a psychic advisor. What was the psychic advisor name? And Nancy's name was in the paper every day with his, along with his, and a psychic advisor. Also, Ronald Reagan turned a blind eye to the CIA, and they meddling with American society by implementing cocaine and crack to start a quasi um, cartel in America, pushing dope and crack and cocaine, taking the money and supporting the Contras and the Sandinistas, whatever side had what they wanted down there in Central America and even South America, fam. You got to do your history on it. So Ronald Reagan, he was no less like the Michael Jackson of presidents. Smash that like, y'all. Because now y'all ever notice it's dirt on everybody's name, but ain't that much dirt on Ronald Reagan name by way of something he did. Like he fucked up this shit. Ain't no, he even got an era named that the Reagan era. Y'all ever notice there ain't no dirt on fucking Ronald Reagan name? He did all the dirt. He fucked up. He fucked over a whole fucking country, put everybody on crack, and the motherfuckers that is like he hired everybody and then put them in jail after he got the money from them, and then closed in on all these businesses and all type of shit. Right. Yeah, but yeah, right. But they took over, but it was in the shadows. And when Bush came to office, it was like we're gonna put somebody. We need to do something right now, and we need him in here. So they put Bush in there. Bush was good though. Fuck that. Bush is an old mustache. He let you eat because the money is made. You know what I mean? Power is seized in hell. You know what I mean? That's what he wanted. Bush and them let you eat. You can do whatever you wanted in America within the law. And then when these crazy ass Democrats and Republicans got back in power, or they let them get a little bit of it, you see what they did. That's what you can't see. The CIA and the military infrastructure is not fucking playing with these people right now, man. They like the Democrats and they gave Donald, they just gave one man something that they had let the Senate and the Congress do, run amok of the country and put their name on shit and start these little committees and supposed to be solving the problem. They let one man be the face of it now instead of the Senate and the Congress, and it showed you how ineffective. When they want to deactivate the motherfuckers, they deactivate them because right now the Democrats and Republicans ain't saying nothing about Donald Trump because they're too busy kicking mud and dirt on each other for his straps or to be associated or be. You notice he ain't pulling no senators, no Republicans, Democrats, congressmen, none of that shit to fill any of those administration jobs that are high recidivism. His administration is a high recidivism rate. His shit is worse than a McDonald's or a Burger King with. Next week the person on fries might be at the window or the manager, and the person back there on fries, you ain't never seen him before. He don't even speak the language. That's what type of shit is going on in the Trump administration, fam. But to each his own. I say, what I mean, he has the right to run his prejudicing, be the face of it, whatever he chooses. You know what I'm saying? But that shit crazy, man. Smash that like y'all. Share me out, man. What y'all think? Trump seemingly turning into the new age word salad. Why? You know what I'm saying? Trump got the word salad shit. He done quite. He done, has Trump been with Kamala Harris? Y'all say Kamala Harris word salad. What about Trump and his mumbo jumbo? The Trump dash off. Trump dashed out. Damn. And that's crazy. It's just like a narcissist. When you can't control the narrative, you haul ass. See, I say, Saranara, when you can't control the narrative, you haul ass. That's crazy. Smash that like, y'all. They better not. AOC sucks, man. That's when we know we're gonna go back into that mayonnaise style. Newsom and Harris, man. Harris is the front runner. Newsom as the backup and do all that gangster shit that he got Hedgepeth doing, but not in the military way, just to get the infrastructure back. Get Newsom out there as the vice president, bring it back community. Let Harris do her one too. She was the vice president. She got more experience at the job. AOC, nah, she too something, man. She too seems like the after school special. She was a waitress and then she went into politics. Nah, it's too much there, like a Broadway play or something, man. I say the Harris Newsom ticket, man. If not Harris Newsom, if y'all can't digest a woman of color being the president, Newsom and somebody like Jeffries, put a little flavor to it. But Newsom definitely should have some play in the Democratic ticket. He the only one that's standing out. There's a lot of people who go do him because some people are biased to their state and then to different things that they feel like that person is pushing for them. But overall, I'll say Gavin Newsom because California is its own country and he's used to dealing with a large amount of different ethnic groups and minorities. I mean, and he's a good liar. So I would say Gavin Newsom should have. I mean, it should be. And Obama, they should bring Obama back, probably like the Secretary of State or going trying to because his thing would be not to run the country, it would be doing collateral damage geopolitically around the world. So maybe you know what I'm saying, Secretary of State, you know what I'm saying? To get the state of America back in order. Because right now, all over the world, Americans are looked at as slime balls. And it's just because the face of it is looking at like a slime ball right now. And we as Americans, all we want is the American dream. A house, a car, dog, being able to go on vacation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Newsom and AOC sucks, man. I'm gonna keep it real. She smells of, I mean, used to be a good politician before she got elected. Once she wet her beak, she's no less like the rest of them. And they haven't learned to clean up they mess, and she'll get messy. And I mean, shit, the socialist voters on both sides, whether we know it or not, Godfather. Every one of these people that's voting, especially the ones that's damn near wealthy and the ones that matter, the middle class, because the poor don't make no decisions and don't know decisions being made based off of them because you got to take care of the poor. The people that's getting the money and paying the taxes and shit, most of them don't even relate to AOC. They look at her as a niche politician, sort of like Jasmine Crockett. They put themselves in these pockets with the story that they tell. I don't see here going global with it. You understand what I'm saying? There's no globalism in AOC. It's more as I mean, which we do need a little down home, but hers is almost theatrical, like a Girl Scout getting on. You know what I'm saying? Because the socialists, like, that shit has deeply permeated both sides, the left and the right. And they just call it different names. You know, Camus was just as radical as Marx. Hegel was just as radical as um Neil. Yeah, salute. I'm in the full agreement with it. But I'm saying, I mean, that's my opinion on it too, on the AOC situation. Not saying neither one of us is right. Whatever happens, happens, and that's it. But I'm saying that's my opinion on it. Like, nah, I think she too Girl Scouty. We need a pit bull. You know what I mean? Smash that like. What did you vote for? Steve, what did you vote for? That'd be great. Newsom and Harris. That's a definite loser ticket. Why you say that, Steve? Why you say that? Hey, Steve, did you ever find out what was definitely happening in Toledo, Ohio, the day before yesterday? It was a shooting, maybe at a festival or something like that. What happened, man? In your state, Ohio's been on the radar. It's taking the place of Minnesota. All that shit was popping off when Minnesota was there, ice and all this shit. Renee Good, um, what was the dude name that got killed? Alex Preety. Y'all notice their names ain't being said. What's happened to Alex Preety family and all that money they raised quickly for Renee Good, and where's her girlfriend at, and her kids and stuff. We don't hear nothing else about that. It shifted to like Ohio now. It's becoming the state, which Ohio was first bubbling with the Haitian stuff when they said that Haitians was eating the dogs and the cats. What, you know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy, fam. Smash that like, shut me out. That's what it is. Steve, what did you vote for, homie? If the DNC were taking place, Harriet would not have one. Man, that's what you say. But what you're not looking at is if Joe Biden was incapacitated for 24 months of his presidential big tenure, um Kamala Harris was supposed to have been implemented as the president. He was because she his second, right? It's sort of like the dude the samurai that stand behind you when you commit seppuku, so that you can have enough honor case when you stab yourself in the stomach and do all that ceremonial shit. You don't can't go through it, and so you don't suffer, and that you die with honor. Your second, chop your head off. She was supposed to stepped up, moved him, and became the president. So with that, they not even got there going playing by the game anyway. So we will make that excuse. She was appointed. I could give a flying fleas. She only had 90 days. So what the fucking was the shit? 90 days is just like with a new bed. You just broke a bed in 90 days, family. Come on, man. She ain't had no room to do nothing. And then they at the end of it, they piled all this stuff on the lady. I'm not against Kamala Trump. I mean Kamala Harris, man. But Kamala Trump, same thing. Like I said, she slept with this guy. She did that, but that guy was not the vice president or even remotely even in federal government. Some state guy, but he was big in his state. You know what I mean? Smash that like it's crazy. The stuff that we say to, you know what I mean? Smash that like y'all. Shut me out. Smash that like. Share me out, y'all. Let's get these likes up. It's crazy. I don't know why so many people are against Kamala Harris. A lot of Democrats are against her. I guess because she fit two narratives: the woman of color and just women in general. Like because a lot of the things that that they say about Kamala Harris is the same things they're saying about Donald Trump, and it makes no sense. And that was because she was a woman of color. Let's be honest. But the LGBTQ community and the LGB are two different communities. You are aware of that, right? The LGBTQ is the technology, is the corporate side of LGB. The corporate side just, you know what I mean, put amalgamating of anybody that can fall under that persuasion underneath their banner of corporate politics, the LGBTQ plus. They totally different from the LGB. The LGB don't have as many as different issues that the LGBTQ has. You know what I mean? And now, seemingly, they say Donald Trump is word salad. He just ran out of an interview. He's the president, so I don't see where is, you know what I mean. Neither one of them is any better than the other. But she managed to do something, right? She became the vice president of the United States, which is a secret society. All we ask is trust. Only a few white dudes, only not even 100 white dudes did it, like under 50. You know what I'm saying? And she was a woman of color. And she sat right up there with him. When they had the picture, that shit gonna look crazy. When they stroll through. Yep, now because JD Vance when they scroll through the pictures of the vice president, somebody go look at it. You'll see what the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, that's what that is. Y'all couldn't take it, man. Sometimes, although you say I'm not, I'm this, in reality you are, because it's seemingly so normal to do it, you don't even realize it. And you know what I'm talking about. Smash that like. Godfather, did you get over there to the e-bike foundation, man? I'm still on the road to get this e-bike popping, man. I'm still trying to get this situation popping, my G. The Democrats, no Biden, lights were out and had the time to fix the party, but refused to address Hillary Clinton, Obama, and right. But they boxed Kamala out as a junior executive. They treated her like a junior executive, what she was to them. They was the old mustaches, and that's how the Democrats been doing their politics, taking turns. So who going once the roll of dice turns on the Democratic ticket to be in favor? They was picking who taking turns, probably out of seniority. That's how Joe Biden got the ticket, being the senior official. Let Joe do it. He's about to retire. He wants to go out in the bang, so Joe did it. And then when it came time for Kamala, oh wait a minute, wait, we brought that junior in Barry, and look what happened. So now we're going to give it to this youngin Kamala. She's not even 60. How old's Kamala? You know what I'm saying? How old is Kamala Harris? Anybody knows? But yeah, the old mustaches. So but now the Democratic Party is leaning towards socialism. Let's be honest. The Democratic Party, socialism is its savior. In my eyes, the Democratic Party is gonna lean heavy into socialism. Watch. That's my prediction. And they're gonna put one of them in ahead in charge. Watch. The Democrats are gonna lean heavy on socialism, and the Republicans are going towards nationalism, and it's going to be damn near supremacy on the laws and the stuff they do to lock down their nationalism and their supremacy. Right. I mean, I'm in full agreement. Remember, Donald Trump was appointed as president 2 times because he's easily controlled. Remember that. Smash that like. What's up, Tony? Socialism is unconstitutional because it doesn't provide for the common defense of all people. Tony, as well as all this shit Donald Trump and them doing, even um Obama, all of that shit is unconstitutional, but it depends on who's doing it, why. I mean, what's up with you, Tony Hype? But all be they as it may be, watch they put Democrats are gonna lean more on, because you know Democrats and Republicans are not just Democrats and Republicans. There's so many splinter groups and subcultures that fall under their banner. But the people that they're gonna lean heavy on, especially if Mamdani has success in New York, now they're gonna look for somebody that can represent them on the stage where if they will mask the Democratic Party and Democratic Socialism. Watch, they're gonna find a way to mask what's going on, because everybody else that's in the Democratic Party right now, even Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris, um, it's like choices. It's not nobody definitely I would pick, but it's after out of the choices, I say they're the best candidates from experience and learned behaviors. But anybody that's gonna make the Democratic Party look different and bring change because everybody might jump on the bandwagon is gonna have to be somebody of the Democratic Socialist persuasion. And especially like I said, if it works in New York with Mom Donnie. He would not be the president, but he is the blueprint to it. Sort of like Barack Obama is not the first black president. Give a fuck what you say. He is the blueprint. He is the first African American president. There's no Ray Ray don't know him on the South Side. You know what I mean? He ain't respected with the Bloods and Crips and the Vice Lords and GDs. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the first real black president. That guy. You know what I'm saying? Smash that light. That's what it is. Chilling, man. It's good. Just grinding, man. Grinding. Oh yeah. What were some of the bad points that you found out about at the commune, Godfather? And who was it? It wasn't one of them Jim Jones, was it? Smash that light. They trying to do the same change for 50 years now. It seems doesn't seem to get better to watch. But the change is when they put one of these Democratic Socialist kids up there, and he probably ain't even born yet. And if he born, he probably either getting out of prison or just lost his job and about to start his rise as he's somewhere in America, and his denomination is still iffy. Maybe it might even be George Bush the third. You know what I mean? George Bush III is an anomaly where it's Jeb's son and his mama is Mexican. So George Bush III too might be a motherfucking sleeper coming grin and do some shit. You understand? Remember, you know what I mean? They clannish them Bushes. I fuck with them. We need another Bush type motherfucker. He let him eat cake. He that type of motherfucker. Donald Trump and them is Donald Trump, Obama, all of them motherfuckers. Joe Biden, all of them is greedy motherfuckers. They are all capitalists. Feed the wolves and then y'all can, know what I'm saying? Feed the wolves. At least let them fight for the straps. They cleaning up everything. They shutting down everything. Obama and them did it, and Trump. So you know what I mean. Not one is not better than the other, but I just go by whoever gonna tell the best lie, fam. Smash that like, man. It's three of y'all in here. Dope. You know what I mean, whether it's 3 or 3,000, we still in here parlaying. No southern ver no southern Vermont near the Massachusetts line. It was called the farm. Okay, god damn. So what was that? Some kind of Puritan commune or something, my G? And you know anything, the farm, the who was the people in any one letter or two letter joints? The people in Philadelphia, what was they move? The farm. What they had that basically their ideology. Y'all went over there, y'all won't like the people on what's happening when they was worshiping the head of lettuce, was you? Y'all want worshiping the head of lettuce, was y'all? Smash that like, fam. Share me out. Smash that like. Smash that. You're taking me out the game. Am I back? Wow, that commune shit sound. Oh yeah, I'm back. You see, they're taking me out the game. But what was their ideology? I get living off the land, Godfather. What was the ideology? What was the main? You know what I mean, because evidently, if the ideology wasn't what you was looking for, because you're not still on the commune. And how'd you get? Okay, being from Georgia, or are you originally from Georgia? How'd you manage to get to Massachusetts? Because making a move, especially nationwide, state to state, that's big. Give me the rundown on that. That was called the farm. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like as y'all come in, man. Who divided America, man? And they say Trump told both sides to stop shooting. If it was that easy, what the fuck? Why is we here right now? Why I mean, why are we still negotiating with somebody seemingly supposed to have been taking out the game? You know what I'm saying? Why are we here? Smash that like y'all know the World Cup popping off, man. I got my papers on Spain. Smash that like. I was originally from upstate New York, lived on okay. So you had that Dutch in your background. Your peoples was Dutch. Where you was at in upstate New York? Poughkeepsie? You ain't no Kenny Whip Van Winkle, is you? Okay, but what was the central vocal point? Was it more political militancy, bucking on the government? Was it a religious standpoint? Stocks, what's up? You know what, Stocks? I didn't even check my email yet. I mean, I had went to bed. That was last night, right? Let me see. I didn't even check my email yet, fam. Firehouse Subs has reimagined the steak and cheese, introducing the steak and cheese melt, flame seared prime. I didn't even check it. Let me see. What did you do about that stuff, Stocks? Okay, Champlain Valley. So that's on more Western New York, closer to Canada. Is that closer to Canada? So your people was yeah Dutch Huguenots or Arcadians, maybe French speaking Arcadians or something like that. Wow, what did the police say about it? What did the police? That's crazy stuff. You got to be careful, fam. How far off do you live from being in a direct community where some of these people might be living? Is any of these people's probably in your area, or do they have to drive out? Because I would set up one of them deer cameras somewhere on the property or adjacent how the central hub gets to your community. I would set up one of those deer cameras just to trip me off to make sure that if somebody's coming to run down on me, I would know way before, at least 5 or 6 minutes before they got there. So I could be, I mean, it's better to be stay ready than have to get ready. I'm saying your peoples and y'all might be under siege, man. What's going on with that? And what is the root of this stuff, stocks? And how far from where you're working at is it to possibly one of these people? Okay, salute. I say beef up the surveillance. You know what I mean? Stay diligent. And how far is this where you working at now from and that's a dope little spot too. Is that for the community or is that for like tourists or what's going on with that spot right there that well right, I would stay motherfucking alert because you know what I mean? And I would try to get to the root of it. What's your gripe with me? You know what I mean? What I do. Smash that like y'all, share me out. Okay, near the Vermont border. Just up on okay, so yeah, that Canadian. Yep. Montreal, Canada, yeah. My work was in town. It's an Indian run gas station. They know all about hate and said they have my back. Okay, yeah, Indians can get pretty ruthless too. Are they Sikh Indians or Patals? What are they, Hindu? They can get pretty, I mean, what's their interaction in the community? Do they also have a hotel adjacent to that? That might be a good investment and try to find out because they seemingly have the plug on stuff like that. And even with learning from them and intermixing, that's what being American about. You know, you accepting them into America and they maybe turn you on to something that Americans don't even know about. That only you know what I mean, people that came into America get privy to. So yeah, that might be a good interaction. But who are the people that are seemingly hurling the threats at you? What's their gripe with you? The cop I showed is married to my kid's teacher. Yes, they are Sikhs. Okay, so they warriors. Okay, okay. They straight out of Punjabi. They different from regular Indian patrol. Sikhs are known for their religious fervor and for fighting. Do they wear the hats and shit and got the little curly mustaches? And you know you better watch them. They might got that little sword on it, the little knife they be having. Okay, I pinpointed to a point, then I Godfather. See what I'm saying? You can't fuck with black. I told you you had that French in you, that Arcadian. Because you know when the Arcadians left France, half of them went to the French territories up north, and the other half went to the French territories in the Louisiana Purchase, and like New Orleans and stuff like that. And so they were called Acadians. Your peoples were Acadians, and the ones down south were Cajuns, like Cajuns. Right, and it's you. And are you that much of a problem? Your is your stream booming? Your views should be booming. You should be pushing that. You got to key in on that. Have you been sharing your stream out on Facebook? Your stream should be booming because that's what a lot of times fuels shit is hate. I mean, hate, hate, hate. That's crazy. Smash that like. And the cop is married to your kid's school teacher. You got to watch the cop also and the school teacher because being which are they all members of the town? Do they live in the town? Because what it is, they'll play devil's advocate or I mean, get all the information and still be if you're associated with them on that side. Who else? Um, which one of their kids is the teacher's um cop friend? You know what I mean? Who else? Kids teacher do the cop know? You know what I'm saying? You got to remember that 6 degrees of separation too. You might want to get in touch with your state police with this one, being that that town is probably a community that is associated by 6 degrees of separation. You might want to get in touch with your state police. You know what I'm saying? Okay, y'all were loggers. Okay, okay, okay. That's right. Getting that money. French loggers. Okay, okay. Lumberjacks, as they call them. Smash that light. So, what made you decide to join that commune, Godfather? And like you never explained to me what was the ideology on it. What was y'all common? We all come together and we worship Harold the lettuce. What was the common? What was I mean? What was the ideology? Free love? Was it a smoke weed common? What was every? What was the common denominator for all of y'all? And don't tell me world peace. Smash that like y'all. What's hippie shit though, Godfather man? See what I'm saying? So hippie shit. Hippies be on different trips. Acid it out. Some hippies are, I mean, we glorify 'em when we put them on acid, but really, hippies culture is really heavily based in opiates, like heroin and you know what I mean, mescaline. Smash that like, man. Behind every good hippie is a heroin addict. Weed and acid don't have them that fucking tripped out, man. So what was going on at that commune? Stark's family says, have to take my neighbor to town. I'll catch up with you later. All right, my G, be careful going into town, man. I'm gonna check that link out too. Be careful going into town. Sending nothing but blessings to the family, man. Keep your head up, my G, and my Tupac voice. You know, you like to quote these guys, but just, you know what I mean, stay, you know what I mean, head on the swivel. Stay ready, my friend. Smash that like. Shout out everybody coming through. showing BMC that support. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. I became aware of the problem when I lost my boots and was told that they were not my boots. Wow, what you mean? That you everything that the commune had, everything that you had was the communes. And that's something for a motherfucker to put on another motherfucker boots. That's a motherfucker right there. You never want to walk in nobody else's shoes, family. That's just how I move. Maybe it's superstitious, but I don't put on nobody else's hat, and I definitely don't put on nobody else's shoes. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like, y'all. Okay. That's some socialist shit. See what I'm saying? That's some socialist shit. Hey man, it's all ours, brother. See what I'm saying? And us being narcissists and spoiled Americans, that's a no-go. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are known for their boots or for their hat or their jacket. They damn if I'm gonna put it on somebody else or put somebody else's on. Because then you'll be known or take on whatever they left in that fucking hat or those shoes. You know what I mean? I don't wear nobody else's nothing. Smash that like. Damn. So was that looked at as even hierarchy? Who was the person who took your boots? The leader of the group? Cam, what's up? Only thing I wear use is exactly, you know what I mean? Cam, was you on the last live stream? You see how that shit went down? They knocked me out. Smash that like. Y'all know they call it superstitious, but I don't wear nobody else hat or nobody else boots. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. Nope. Can't do it. I'm not doing it. Smash that like, man. Damn, I would have slapped the shit out of him. And then did y'all have to go to like a tribunal or somebody that had to explain, somebody got to explain the rules to you or something? How did it come to the conclusion that okay, this is legit, or you just say fuck it, keep the boots on out of here, or did you put boots in his ass? Because somebody steals my boots, I'm gonna put boots in his ass. I ain't wearing them. Look, that you know what? Get the lettuce out here. We gotta ask the lettuce. Get the lettuce out here. We gotta ask him what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like, man. Who divided America and what did you vote for? Is the topic that we chopping it up on. Yeah, he wanted to put my boots on. I got knocked out. I started talking about a particular topic, which I'm not even gonna go there. But maybe later. But shit, I got knocked out. Like they stripped me. They stripped me like a. I mean, they stripped my title. Smash that like, y'all. Give me back my legions, man. Smash that like, fam. Look at that. Xi Jinping is in fucking Korea right now. He in Korea right now. Smash that like, man. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Hmm. Sort of. Get more why though? What get more in depth, the particular reason. You know, we always do our one twos on them. Everybody comes in and says it, but what was the main thing I was keying in on though? I said fuck it and left, went out to the field and tucked my shit back and got the rest of my shit and got in my truck and went down home. Oh, you had your truck there and everything? Who got you involved in that stuff, Godfather? Who got you involved in it? Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. But this happened to me one time before, fam. Oh my God. So you listen to Grateful Dead and what's that other group that's just like the Grateful Dead? Fish. You also listen to Fish, don't you? I bet you it was Dr. Sussman. He forgot to mention that. The guy that took your boots wasn't sleeping with your girl, also, was it? That's not cultish. Grateful Dead concert. Smash that like, girl. Fill me out. Godfather, you listen to Fish, don't you? Y'all know they say Fish is the new Grateful Dead with all the drug people and shit coming around. Mhm. Okay, Dr. Hook in the medicine show. Okay, that's what it is. You know, where they have bonfires or orgies, Godfather. Come on, tell us the truth. You didn't have to go in detail, but what was the vibe there? Was it a runoff of the old previous culture of like hippies and free love? Or did they have 12 o'clock gun range training, PT in the morning doing push ups and stuff like that? It was the regiment at the farm. Smash that like. From your upbringing, Godfather, I would say you were a tried and true Republican. Even that's to be able to drive off from a commune in your own truck at a young age like that was a certain amount of American privilege. Okay, now so it was no less a nonstop party with no. But what was the banner? Was it billed as a democratic socialist commune? Not no matter what happened there. What was it promoted as? Smash that like y'all. Shut me out. I'll say Pizza Hut. In my opinion, in my area, Pizza Hut is better than Papa John's. I remember Pizza Hut had the buffet in there, and then the personal pan pizzas and shit used to be popping. Pizza Hut, fam. I don't know if they got that deal in your area. I usually get the three Pizza Hut joints, two pepperoni, one cheese for no more than shit. It's $7 a pizza. Jets Pizza. Mm. We don't got Jets pizza. And if we do, they haven't made such of an impact that I've noticed them. Okay, Marco's with the little stick, the little piece. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that's no less like a Little Caesars type of situation. Damn. So it was all this party bullshit, huh? So when you left, you took an intricate cog in the wheel. You had the transportation. So did they ever get back in touch with you and ask you what happened? Were you coming back? Okay, at Marco's Pizza. That shit gobble if it's like Marco's Pizza. That shit gobble. One day I was looking for a deep dish pizza place. They gave me that Marco's. I went there. I was like, this fucking only thing deep dish about deep box. Just is like Papa John's. Jets is like Papa John's. You get big ass pieces, everything on it. But the ingredients that Papa John's uses, nah, I like Pizza Hut, man. I'm just saying. Smash that like y'all. Shut me out. We're gonna wrap this one up, man. We're gonna come back with another catchy topic in a fruit, man. This one glitching, my G. Another catchy topic in a fruit, man. This one glitching, my G. Thanks for coming through.